Hello and welcome to another HTML and CSS tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to look at how to use the float and clear properties in CSS. So we'll look at how to use float to float an image to the left and to the right of the page, and we'll also use the clear property to arrange text around an image. So to start with, I have a CSS file, an external style sheet, which is called stylesheet15.css, and I've linked that here in the head section. So it's actually in a resources folder. So this is my page, index.html, and inside the resources folder, or the resources directory, I have my style sheet there. I also have an image here called canada.jpg, so I'm going to add that to the body section of the web page using the image tag. So image source equals resources, so I'll mention that directory, / canada.jpg. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to use CSS to float, firstly to float this image to the left. So what I'll do first is I'll just close off that tag there, and I'm going to add some, just a couple of paragraphs with some random text. So I'll say, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, and I'll just copy and paste that a few times. Okay, and close off that paragraph tag, and then I might add another paragraph as well, so copy that and paste. So I've got two paragraphs there and an image, right? So let's have a look at that in the browser. Alright, there we go. So we have this image here, and then we have our paragraph of two paragraphs of text there. I might even add, just copy and paste that a bit more, just so the paragraphs are a little bit longer, so that this works properly. Okay, save, refresh, there we go, that should be enough. So what I want to do is I want to have this image floating to the left. So it already is on the left side of the page, but I'm going to go to my CSS file and I'm going to add a, I'm going to use the float property on that image. So firstly I need to give that image a class name. So I'm going to say image source resource equals resources / canada.jpg, and then I say class equals pick. So I'm giving that a class name of pick. When I go to the style sheet, I can say .pick, and then I can add some CSS properties here. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to say float and then left. Okay, so float left. And I'll go back to, I'll save that, and I'll go back to my page. Now, at the moment I have the image here in the top left corner, and then all of the text is below it. When I refresh, the image floats to the left and all of the text comes up beside it. Now we might want to add some padding here as well, so the text, so there's a bit of space between the text and the image. But all of that, because I've used the float property and I specified left as the value there, the image is floated to the left and then everything has come up next to it, all that text has come up next to it. Now if I want this paragraph here to go below the image, then I can give that a class name. So I might just do it to the second paragraph first. So I'll say p class equals, and I'll just call it paragraph. Save that, go back to the CSS, and I'll refer to that class, paragraph. And I'm going to use the clear properties. I'm going to say clear left. Save and refresh. There we go. So what has happened is I have said float left for the image, but for this paragraph down here, I've also said clear left. So it's going to clear whatever is to the left of it. So it's going to clear that image which is to the left of it. It's going to go down the bottom. What I can do is I can also add that class to the first paragraph. So I can give that class name to the first paragraph, save and refresh, and that one also goes below, so it's clearing that image there. Okay, I could also go back to my style sheet and I could say float right for that image, and save and refresh. And now that image floats to the right instead, but because I'm saying clear left for these paragraphs, they're not actually clearing the image, so because the image is on the right, it's no longer on the left. So I could say clear right now that the image is floating to the right, and that text will go below again. If I'm not sure whether the image is floating to the left or the right, then I can actually say clear both, and it won't matter if the image or what comes before it, whether it's a div or an image, it won't matter if it's floating to the left or the right, it will clear both. Okay, so I just saved and refreshed that, and you can see that it clears that image as well. So we've got the float property, which we can give values of left or right, and paragraph we can say clear left, clear right, or we could say clear both. For this image we might even add some padding, and we might actually remove the clear property. We might remove that whole style there for the paragraph, and we'll say padding of maybe 5 pixels. Okay, now that image is floating to the right, but you can see now that the text, there's a bit of room there, so the text isn't right up against that image. It looks a little bit cleaner. We could even add some more padding there. We could say padding of 10 pixels. Save and refresh, and then the text is kind of moving around that image, so it's giving it some padding there. It's giving it some room. All right, so that's how you can float an image to the left or the right, and clear. It uses the clear property as well to arrange content on your screen. We can also use the float and clear properties to create layouts. So we can create columns on our web page, and we can create like sidebars and menus on the left and the right side of the page using the clear or using the float and using the clear properties. Okay, thanks for watching.